Sustainable Cleveland 2019 is really a vision of how do we transform our economy into a sustainable economy by that year 2019. And we're finding more and more that businesses are realizing that there is no contradiction between being sustainable and green and profit.
2014 is the year of zero waste. And what we mean by zero waste typically is a 90% waste reduction in terms of taking materials once bound for the landfill and either recycling them, upcycling them, or reducing them at the source. So we're taking far less materials to the landfill, we're saving money, and we may even be making money off of the materials that we're finding more productive use for. And this is zero waste at home, at work, and in your community, and in the government.
I remember the very first summit where we had a breakout groups and we had a funeral service for Oscar the Grouch, envisioning a waste-free Cleveland and Cuyahoga County. Every year we send less and less to the landfill and we recycle more. So currently, countywide, we're recycling about half of our waste stream through recycling and composting. What people need to know is all this capturing of our waste and recycling it is fueling jobs here. We just did a recent economic study where we identified 271 separate companies that are involved in recycling here in Cuyahoga County, and they employ over 4,700 people. So the more we can grow that, the more employment we can create too, rather than sending it all to a landfill.
Okay, so this is the trash shell. Methane pipes. These are the methane pipes. And the compacted clay soil is what the truck pushes down, like the trash and dirt. Yes. And the leachate collection pipes are these. Leachate is like, it's bad water. So if you mixed it with the groundwater, it'll make the groundwater poisonous.
So the Rock Your World with STEAM Family Festival has been a part of the Department of Arts Education of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District's programming for the past 15 years. The STEAM exhibits follow the themes provided by Sustainable Cleveland's celebration years, and this year they focused on zero waste.
I think that they were really interested and kind of shocked, like we all are, about how long some of these things do take to decompose.
In February 2014, the City of Cleveland used energy efficiency and conservation block grant funds to purchase 40 recycle bins as part of our downtown recycling project. In August of 2014, we installed another 30 bins around our stadiums and lakefront areas and along West 25th in Ohio City near the West Side Market. Zero Waste NEO does a lot with waste reduction in our community, a lot focused around zero waste events. At the 2013 summit, we generated just one bag of trash for the entire two-day, 500-plus person event.
When you do zero waste, just because people are not that familiar with composting versus recycling, you really need to have zero waste stations that are manned 100% of the time by zero waste volunteers. Our zero waste volunteers are trained as to what goes in the compost and what goes in the recycle. And so they stand by the zero waste stations and they help our guests properly sort the materials when they're done eating. We have Ohio City Bike Co-op transporting the full bags to the roll-offs that are positioned to collect the organic matter, which is the compost, and the recyclable materials. Future Organics is going to take the compost for us to Barnes Nursery to be composted.
At Rittal, our major goal is to transform areas and turn them back into green space. So all of the things that we do at the farm are just tools that we use to assist us in our major goal of transforming areas. So some of the things we do at Rittal to keep things exciting is we do fish farming. We do a variety of locally grown food using no chemicals, no pesticides. All of the plants that we grow on site, we grow in the soil that we produce here on site through our composting efforts. So we try to push back against the throwaway society and try to find a way to transform what most people would consider waste or garbage and transform it back into something useful. So that's the whole idea of composting, is to take something that was considered waste and transform it back into something of value.
We really found out that folks on their own will go out and compost, but we really wanted to push that. And the reason why we want to push that is that when that organic material goes to the landfill, is buried underground, it decomposes without oxygen, and so it creates methane gas. And so that causes or contributes to climate change. It also contributes to higher prices that cities have to pay for their garbage. And so backyard composting becomes the most sustainable option for dealing with organic material. So paper products, wood products, food scraps, and yard waste scraps. And when you do that, you then create a nutritious soil called compost or soil amendment.
And this afternoon we're at Maggie's farm, where we started this whole zero organic waste recycling with one Dunkin' Donuts in the area. We do 3 things with our finished compost. One, we've been selling to CSA members, and the material that does not get sold has three purposes from there. One, some of the compost will be double composted for the food waste. Some of it will be used for sale the next spring, and the other one will be given freely to the farm. So we'll always have inventory movement in and out.
We pick up compostable goods from both restaurants, juice bars, and residents, and we transport that using bicycle and a custom-built trailer to community gardens around Cleveland. The idea is that we want to create meaningful jobs in a green economy, and so in doing that you create economic mobility for people that don't traditionally have it, while also improving the environmental conditions of a neighborhood by advancing local food systems and keeping some of the most toxic things out of landfills.
We say that upcycling is about taking a material or a place that has lost its value or that other people don't see as valuable and transforming it in a way that adds value and creates new audiences. Our shop is a retail shop as well as a workshop space. So we sort of collect the pieces and parts of Cleveland's waste streams. That's both manufacturing, commercial industry, as well as residential. And we say, hey, that piece is interesting, it's not toxic, it's usable for something else, we'll take that. And we say to people who have art supply closets that they don't actually use anymore, that stuff could be used here too.
So we go out places like the Cleveland Flea. We did an event with the Ingenuity Festival, and we've done corporate events where we take craft supplies to you, upcycle materials, and work with the, whether it's the public or if it's a set group of people like at a company, and help them with crafting and, exploring new materials.
Our mission is to provide affordable housing for part of the population who would never have access to their home ownership. These are houses that would be demolished if we don't step in and do something about it. So we believe in zero waste with our housing product. Try to utilize rehabbing Cleveland homes that have good bones and that can serve more generations of families in Cleveland. Another thing we do, our restore, it saves things from the salvage yard. So a good estimate is that for every $1 we sell, we divert 1.3 pounds of materials from a landfill. It's a fun place because you never know what's going to come in the trucks that pick up donations.
The Division of Waste Collection has a curbside automated program which picks up recycling from the City of Cleveland residents. The residents can recycle paper, plastic, aluminum, cardboard, and glass. We're asking all City of Cleveland residents to please be environmentally conscious, recycle as much as you can, and help the City of Cleveland decrease our carbon footprint.
I have 3 bins in my apartment, so it's like, the cans go in one and the bottles go in another one, and it's just maybe one more step to do something, but to save money in the environment, it's like way cool.
And we have one located at the trash can. On each floor, on every floor there's a big recycling bin, and it's very easy to do. They make it very convenient here. I recycle everything, everything.
They took to it so well. The first week we were just blown away about how many people were recycling and how much material was piling up. Like we went from 1 dumpster pickup a week to 2 in a matter of 2 weeks. the help is always there. If you want to do something in Cleveland, you can always find help somewhere. Somebody is doing something, and this is a very conscientious city when it comes to sustainability, so there's always help when you need it.
What we encourage people to do is before you toss something, think about what else could be done with it. And I have to say that that wasn't how we started. Mrs. McGregor, who is part of the City Rising Farm team, used to really get on us about our wastefulness. She uses everything. One of my favorite things is she has this fence that's made from bed frames and headboards and wrought iron headboards, and it is beautiful. And those are the things that we should be thinking about. It's just going to make Cleveland so much better and really a model for the rest of the country. That's what, hey, we're trendsetters. So that's what Cleveland's all about.
If you're doing recycling or want to do recycling, it will actually cost you less to recycle and take out some trash than it will if you just had trash alone. And recycling is easy. It's just put it here instead of there, that's all it is. If Bissell wants to start a recycling program, what they need to do first is get some people on board with doing a waste audit. Use gloves. You can call me, I can assist you with it. Refuse to bring it in, first of all. Reduce what you're using. Reuse if you can, and recycle is really kind of like on the bottom of the chain.
So what we tried to do, instead of trying to recycle everything, we tried to retask everything. And our feeling was if we could retask things and give them a second and a third and a fourth life, that was more effective than recycling it. So every time something gets emptied, there's a home for it. There's a home for empty cartons by size. There's a home for empty drums by type. There's a home for the bag liners. There's a home for the packages that we're going to use for UPS. So instead of using a building 2.5 times the size of what we have, we're very efficient.
First, we installed a 3-container recycle center for each floor in our break rooms and lunch rooms. The 3 containers were for recycling, composting, and landfill waste. We also partnered with our building cafeteria and changed all of our take-out dishware. So food containers, silverware, cups are now greenware. And so when our employees do take lunch from the cafeteria, they can compost those food containers. Our composting is picked up from the building every day because we create so much of it through this program. Our waste management for trash only comes to our building once a month. And for a 35-story building, that's amazing.
ORs are our most resource-intensive part of a hospital. They use a lot of materials in surgeries and also a lot of energy for lighting and for air handling. So we have created a custom program that we call the Purple Bag Program. And what this is a program where we bring a bag in at the beginning of a procedure and we collect all kinds of materials, films and plastic containers and wraps and things that we were landfilling in the past. Those materials are sent to a group called Buckeye Industries, and 99% of what we send them gets recycled. Zero waste is an opportunity for any organization to engage their employees, because every organization uses materials. And we've, in the last year, put together a survey where we looked at the relationship between sustainability and relationship engagement at work, and we found a positive relationship, which is great. So finding additional opportunities for people to do good actually makes people feel just a little bit better about the work that they're doing, and we think that's profoundly important as well.
We buy and sell vintage and modern toys, vintage clothing, records, pop art, and other pop culture collectibles. Sustainability is a really big part of the business. Spend a lot of time talking about it and trying to make it sort of at the core of what we do. So 99% of what we buy comes from local families just like yours. Either people cleaning out stuff from their own collections or from their childhood, things that they've held on to that they didn't want anymore.
We take material, construction demolition debris, and other industrial waste,
and we recycle and repurpose and reprocess them into usable material that can be brought back into the market, which really completes the circle for recycling and giving us a full sustainable approach to waste management. So for example, construction demolition debris, if you sort it out into homogeneous waste streams, there's a lot of value in that material. For example, wood can be turned into mulch or boiler fuel. Metal obviously has a high value in itself. Drywall for gypsum, roofing materials for different aggregates that can go into asphalt processing. And there's a whole slew of things you could do. People really have to understand that waste has value if people put in the time and energy to really process it out and find a better reuse than typical disposal in a landfill.
Mainly we take just food waste. We do get into compostable materials such as plates, silver or plasticware, napkins, paper products. Organic waste is the number 3 contributor to the landfill. So diverting that, you're talking millions of tons a year that could be taken out of a landfill.
The restaurant industry is one of the most wasteful industries in America. Just from a specific location, Marigold, before we started the recycling and composting program, which was about 3 years ago, we were filling up a dumpster every single day. So we had 5 pickups a week. We've taken that down to 1. We do 2 recycling pickups a week and we do 1 compost pickup a week. Composting is not hard. Literally, it is setting up 1 extra trash can and educating your staff as to what goes in there.
By the year 2019, I'd like to see a few things in terms of how we deal with waste. Number 1 is I'd like to see our carbon footprint reduced from organic waste at the landfill and all the methane it produces and all the truck traffic emissions that occur because we have to ship our waste far away and bury it in the ground. I would really like to see businesses thriving because they're reducing their costs and they're making money by finding value out of what was once a waste stream. And I would like our citizens to just understand their role in participating in curbside recycling and reducing waste at the source.
So the key is how do we move Cleveland in that direction so that it's just the way we function as a city, it's the way we function as communities, is the way we function as our economy.